What goes into developing a strategic plan? Well, to start with, let's identify the types of strategy in the organization. First, there's the high-level strategy. That's the organizational strategy or purpose of the organization. Generally, it entails elements of the vision statement, the mission statement, the value statement, that type of thing. And it has an overall objective for the organization, whether that's growth, stability, retrenchment, any of these types of things. Now, your competitive strategy seeks to promote or further your organizational goals or objectives. So your competitive strategy is in line with your organizational strategy, and it entails how you're going to compete with others in the marketplace. And then your operational or functional strategy is how you're going to do the individual activities, establish the processes, pursue given tactics that are going to allow you to effectuate that competitive strategy. And ultimately, if the competitive strategy is effective, it moves forward those organizational goals and implements the organizational level strategy. So with that being said, you first look towards the organization itself and say, what are the opportunities out there? So we look at our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. This is what we call an internal analysis because, once again, it's based upon internal factors. What are our internal strengths? What are the things that we are missing? What are the opportunities that present themselves through how we interface with the external environment? And similarly, what threats exist in the external environment that are caused or reflective somehow of a weakness we have internally? So we look first internally. After we have a good understanding of our internal nature, we look externally and we say, what is the competitive environment out there? The PESTLE factors stand for political, economic, socio-technical, technological, environmental, and legal. Evaluating these elements of the external operating environment help us understand what we face out there. It can identify opportunities and threats, and it can accentuate the potential for some of our strengths and weaknesses internally. So externally, these factors are extremely important. If we focus specifically on other competitors in the environment and the operational environment in which we're competing, we use Porter's 5 forces generally, and that identifies competitors, substitute products, suppliers and their power, buyers and their power, and just how much competition exists in the marketplace itself. So this gives us a good external understanding. We use these two to understand what is a viable competitive strategy, one that can lead to some form of competitive advantage in the marketplace and can help move forward our organizational strategy. If we've decided a competitive strategy, that is how we are going to position ourselves to compete with others in the marketplace, whether that's differentiating our product in a certain way, focusing on a niche or focus market, or establishing relationships that give us some kind of lower cost structure than others so we can operate more cheaply without all of the overhead. Whatever we choose, we're going to have to identify the activities that bring this about. And this is where we get into identifying specific goals and objectives that will move forward our competitive strategy. What are the things that we have to have happen? The milestones, the things that must be accomplished for this competitive strategy to be effective. Once we've identified them, we can actually come up with the activities and processes to make these happen. How do we reach this milestone? How do we reach this objective? How do we accomplish this goal so that collectively everything that we will do will move our competitive strategy forward and once again move forward our organizational strategy. So this is the waterfall, if you will. Start at the highest level with our organizational purpose, then look at how are we going to compete in the environment through an internal and external analysis. Then we identify the goals and objectives we have to accomplish in order to effectuate that competitive strategy. And then we come up with the tasks, the activities, the processes, and the way of doing them, the tactics that we're going to use to effectuate that competitive strategy. And in doing so, you have developed a strategic plan.